Perfect squares and square roots is the lesson of the day. Our first example, it says to square each number. So here we have negative 12, and we're going to just go ahead and square that. So that means we're going to take it to the power of 2. So that is just negative 12 times negative 12, which gives us a positive 144. And 144 is a perfect square. So that means that two numbers that are the same multiplied together give me that number, which is 144. 2 over 7, if we were to square that, we would have 2 over 7 times 2 over 7, which would be 4 over 7 times 7 is 49. We cannot reduce that, but we can write it as 4 over 49ths. Again, 4 over 49ths is a perfect square, which means that two numbers multiplied together that are the same will give you 4 over 49th. 1.0, you can go ahead and square that as well. So 0.01 times 0.01, we end up getting 0.0001. And I know that my decimal point place is correct because here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I should have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how I know that I have written my decimal correctly. So I'll make sure I write this as 0.0001. D, we have scientific notation. And so we're going to go ahead and it wants us to square this. So that's saying 1.2 times 10 to the 5th times 1.2 times 10 to the 5th. So we can go ahead and multiply those just like we did in the last section. So 1.2 times 1.2 would be our first step. So 1.2 times 1.2 is 1.44. And I'm going to write that as times 10 to the 5 plus 5, because we have two 5s here from this exponent and this exponent right here. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So it's 1.44 times 10 to the 10th. And that is back in scientific notation. If we wanted to write it in standard form, we would need to move the decimal point over 10 times, and it's going to make a big number because it's positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we plug in those zeros. And and let me do it in green so it stands out. Here's my comma, here's my comma, here's my comma, so that would be our standard form answer. Example number 2, it says find principal square root. So here we're taking a square root of a number. So all of these are going to be perfect squares. So that means that two numbers that are the same multiplied together give us 121. So what times what gives us 21? That is exactly the same number. Well, 11 times 11 is 121. So the square root of 121 is just 11. It's just one of those numbers. Square root of 16. What times what is 16? 4 times 4. So that means the square root of 16 is just 4. 225. 15 times 15 is 225. So that means that we're just going to have 15. Here we have a decimal for C, 0.36. Well, I know that 6 times 6 is 36. So if I have 0.6 times 0.6, I should get 0.36. So, and that would be correct because I would have two decimal places right here and right here. So 1, 2, so that is correct. So 0.6 would be my answer for the square root of 0.36. 0.289. I know that 17 times 17 is 289, but I got to get my decimal point right, so it needs to move over twice. So if I make this 1.7, then I can move that decimal point over twice and get that 2.89. So my answer is 1.7. Example number 3, it says simplify each expression. So here I just have the square root of 100 over 25, and I'm going to add this to make it a little more complicated, minus the square root of 64. So let's look first just at the square root of 100 and the square root of 25. Whenever it's a fraction like that, let's just look at those separately. So the square root of 100 is 10. The square, because 10 times 10 is 100. 5 times 5 is 25, so the square root of 25 is just 5, minus square root of 64. 8 times 8 is 64, so I'll have 8 over 1. I'll have to get a common denominator here in order to go ahead and subtract them. So I'm going to have 10 over 5 minus 8 times 5 is 40 over 5. So I get negative 30. 10 minus 40 is negative 30 over 5, which reduces to be negative 6. 5 goes into 30 6 times. You could have also looked at this and said, oh, okay, 5 goes into 10, and it would have been 2. And 2 minus 8 is also negative 6. So that would have been a shortcut. So either way will work.